It's a place that people always forget about in terms of space. It's so New York, it's so storied, and it's so, it's so grand. I mean, people always complain about not finding spaces in New York and Paris having the best spaces, but you come here and you're sort of transported, really.
Okay.
For the show for Thakoon, we're working around Maasai. Maasai is a tribe in Kenya who is very, very sophisticated. So what we're doing, we're mixing a piece of material, wool, from the collection with the hair. We basically prep the hair to make it soft and beautiful. Then we use a lot of spray. We cross the hair with the wool to create a chignon, and we finish with a lot of shine on the hair. It's very shiny, very beautiful, and they look very elegant.
I'll make sure to. When I went for the fitting with Thakoon, he showed me his inspiration board, and there's lots of pictures of African prints, the Maasai tribe, but also pictures of Rococo, the Rococo era. So I think it's a melding of those two influences, very opulent, and then the rich, primitive colours of Africa. So that's why we decided to go for a really rich, strong eye colour. So we started off by bleaching the girl's eyebrows, and then we applied Dragon Girl red velvet lip pencil all over the lid. And then on top of that, we've used 3 blush colours, and it's all blended out into the temple. There's no hard lines. And then for the lips, we've taken down the colour with foundation and applied lip balm on top. So it's a really strong, bold eye look. And there's no mascara or eyeliner or anything like that.
I was feeling tribes. I was looking at tribal sort of characteristics and qualities and sort of habits and sort of, this idea of groups of people dressing alike, looking alike, wearing colorful, fanciful things. And it wasn't just about, the Maasai tribe, which is one of the major influence you'll see in the colors, in the prints and the patterns, but also historical tribes Rococo period. That's considered very sort of tribal in the way that they dressed. Then ultimately coming back to New York, the tribe of New York, and sort of the people here and the way that people dress and the way that people walk down the street and sort of the energy here. I've always been interested in that, but I think once I found the connection and once I sort of dug deep into it, it sort of opened a world of sort of possibility and similarities and creativity, and so it was really exciting.
Thakoon's signature is the quirky print, and that's probably oversimplifying it because he really makes really interesting shapes in women's sportswear that's kind of polished and ladylike, but a little bit of kinky edge underneath it as well. And I think his greatest hits, just off the top of my head, were the bandage dresses from about 2 years ago. They were very slim fitted dresses wrapped with bandages. The kind of overblown cabbage print rose prints from the season before that actually had women's legs kind of sticking out as the stems. They were very subtle, but he really comes up with a look that is very recognizably him. And you see women who are interested in fashion but don't want to be too trendy gravitating toward this brand because it's a very subtle message when you see someone in the print. It's very recognizably him.
Prints and textures are really inspired by the Maasai tribe. You see a lot of plaids, you see a lot of gingham, you see a lot of batik, and then sort of construction and some of the materials are kind of inspired by the Rococo period even. The taffeta, that we're using, but using it in a way that's a bit more sporty on anoraks, because sort of the taffeta gives me that kind of quality, you know, which is kind of funny. So. You know, I love fall for coats, and I love the parkas this season, the down jackets. I love them, and I think that, you know, they're sort of the perfect mix between Rococo, Maasai, and New York.
What I like best that Thakoon does is sort of, you know, ladylike sportswear with a bit of an edge, which I think there are, you know, a lot of designers are doing here this week. And, you know, it might be some sort of kooky print or, you know, I don't know, a weird sort of, you know, ombre mohair effect from, you know, thinking of past collections of his. So, you know, I think something that's kind of classic and ladylike, but maybe with a bit of a kick.
We have dresses that you could consider cocktail, but there are not evening wear pieces per se. You know, we're looking at things that are sort of street this season. You know, I was one of the word that I was using was pedestrian. I almost wanted things to sort of have a pedestrian quality, that you can walk down the street and sort of be sort of cool and, you know, so.
I thought that was a really, really strong show for him. I thought it was styled beautifully. I thought it had, I mean, the hair alone, that kind of incredible wraps in the braids, and twisted bits, amazing. The makeup, amazing. And what I loved was it argued for a kind of maximal minimalism, like a very simple silhouette. It's a sweater and a pair of pants, but it's like pants that look and feel like a blanket and striped, and the sweater has like a different pattern, and just thought it was genius, completely genius.
Fashion, what is happening now? You know, I think that there's so many sort of clashes of cultures and styles and differences. You know, even in New York, you have, you know, designers who are showing very different looks, but yet we're all sort of here together, and it's sort of like that sort of energy is exciting.